In this video, we're going to showcase a technique for securing IV access in challenging cases where multiple attempts have been unsuccessful. While using ultrasound for deeper veins is an option, they may not always be the time, tools, or skills available. So stay with us until the end of the video, and you will grasp an invaluable technique to achieve IV access or draw blood, even if all else seems to fail. A few months back, I elucidated this technique with another patient. The insights were so beneficial that the video had an astounding 1.5 million views up until now.
Pocket EDU, turbocharge learning with interactive ebooks. Best in anesthesia, ultrasound, and pain. Visit pocketedu.com and see for yourself why it is nicknamed ebook on steroids.
There we go, so it's multiple attempts. We can see here, we can see now the other side. We have now applied tourniquet, okay? But now in addition to the tourniquet, we're going to do reverse Esmarch. So
the care that you take in applying the Esmarch determines its effectiveness. Each turn aims to push the blood distally into the peripheral veins, making them more accessible for cannulation or venipuncture.
Now to start using Esmarch by exsanguinating distally. So again, tense, apply, a little bit of pressure, okay? Tense, apply, tense, apply, tense, apply. We're not going to go further down. I'm just going to wrap this so it doesn't erupt. And let's see what we have done. So here, we have some veins already that are popped up. Now we have to evaluate whether these are usable. It may or may not be. Is there anything on the back of the hand? Here we're going to unglue this. The hand is rather cold, so that's one other thing that we could have shown.
Be vigilant. With each Esmarch turn, the venous pressure increases. As a result, previous failed venipuncture sites might ooze, leading to hematoma. So hence, it is wise to have someone apply the pressure to recent puncture sites to prevent the hematoma's formation.
Applying a little bit of alcohol may help the vein pop up a bit. Okay, and then we're going to do a gentle tap in here to see whether we can enhance that vein. Okay, here we can clearly see the vein has a contributory.
It is essential to palpate the veins to discern if they empty upon pressure and refill upon release. If they empty and refill, the vein is functional. But if the vein remains firm despite applied pressure, the vein might be thrombosed or unsuitable for cannulation. This oversight is a common error that many medical practitioners make.
Consistent to what we normally do, we bend that catheter slightly to allow us to zoom very low angle. It actually joins in here. So I'll tap a couple more times. Here we go. I will extend. There we go. So we are in the vein now. And with a quick, whether we can actually feed that catheter inside. Slow, 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 slow.
After a successful IV placement or venipuncture using the reverse Esmarch method, it is crucial to promptly remove the Esmarch bandage. This step is vital to prevent hematoma and initiate IV infusion. With the Esmarch on and still applied, you cannot really ascertain if the IV catheter functions due to the high venous pressure due to the Esmarch.
And see if it runs. There we go. And voila, we have an IV access. Now we don't want to lose this, of course, so we're going to just wrap this around.
Once the IV catheter site is secured, it is imperative to stabilize the IV line separately to avoid accidental dislodgement should the line get tugged or entangled during the patient care. And remember, this was a challenging IV insertion. Don't risk having to redo it. Ensure your IV line remains secure. I hope you find this video useful, and if you do, make sure you like and share with your colleagues. Until next time.